Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Well, we're back on a test server right now, and in this video, I want to go over testing some of the things that they mentioned in the sneak preview video. A lot of it is to give you guys a heads up on what to expect. You should be seeing the update coming pretty soon, obviously probably on Thursday when the fusion drops as well. When this video comes out, you have a couple days just to prepare. It also will put to ease some of you that are concerned about some of the balance changes to some of the dungeons and potentially affecting some of your teams. So we'll go over some of that as well as test out some of the new features in the game. So I think the best way to do this is probably to run the video, and we'll stop and make comments along the way.
Hey everyone, update 8.60 is almost here. So it's time for our regular sneak peek at what we've been working on. Let's dive in. First up, we're introducing a fifth divinity, Harmony.
All right, so they got this new Harmony divinity blessing. So I think one of the most interesting ones here is probably the stone skin boosted damage against stone skin cracking roots. So cracking roots increases the damage inflicted by this champion to stone skin HP. Increase damage inflicted by 20%, 40%, 60%, 100%. So we can definitely try this out and see if this is actually worth using, because yeah, stone skin, a way to deal with it would be pretty cool. The other blessings, like for example this other one, seems like it's going to be a counter for torment, the head of torment. For Hydra, I mean, instead of working the Hydra mechanic for the head of torment, or providing more champions that are viable or more ways to deal with it, they provided this blessing to help people deal with it. I mean, it's a way, it's a start. So if you have harmonic impulse on your champions, or if you have a blessing on your champions, you guys will always have a way to deal with the head of torment. So instead of, basically saying, oh, I don't have a Shimeo, I don't have Veil champions, now you have, well, everyone has a blessing, so that's one way to deal with it. I guess it's an okay way, I guess, to give everybody a way to deal with the head of torment, but it's kind of not cool to like shoehorn everyone into this, blessing, obviously. We have neutralize, another Hydra specific blessing here. It gives you a chance to place poisons or debuffs through the poison cloud. I mean, it's pretty specific. It's too specific, I think, for any super high usage. For example, like something like lethal dose, man, poison debuffs in arena. I can't believe how meta that is right now. It's just incinerate. I can't believe how meta HP burn is in arena right now. So I can't believe how meta Poison Cloud will be. It's just something that's just way too specific to see widespread use, and we'll probably see it used as much as Incinerate or Lethal Dose, which is probably never. So Nature's Wrath, increase the damage inflicted by this champion for every debuff they successfully placed, except debuffs placed by gear sets. This sounds pretty good. However, it's basically targeted to debuffers to give them some extra damage. Since debuffers most likely are not geared to deal damage, it's not going to be significant, it feels like, although this requires additional testing. Nourish seems okay. It does reduce the destroy max HP, which can be useful. And obviously there are some pretty cool champions with continuous heal. Old Man Podrick, and as well as Amberheart, the new Void Dwarf, is pretty cool for continuous heal, so this could be useful for her. Whenever this champion, Nature's Bounty, whenever this champion applies a debuff, has a chance to place a greater version. This is interesting. It makes rares more viable, or that's what that's what they're targeting this for. I don't mind this blessing. I mean, giving a rare champion a larger role could be useful. It's not going to elevate rares into top tier status or anything like that, but it is something if you are short on options. But I think the most interesting one might be cracking roots, so we'll take a shot at testing this one out for sure. And in this case, I will be going for my Rotos, switching him up from sheep into cracking roots. Let's do it. Let's find somebody to crack. All right, let's see if we can break this UDK, the arch nemesis of Rhodos, with the cracking roots. Obviously, this one has stone skin. We're going to try to take as many turns as we can and try to break this stone skin. Let's see what we can do here. Increase attack for some extra power on the Rhodos. We'll lock him out so they can't do anything too crazy. So let's see what we can do here. Of course, weak hits are a possibility. Oh, that actually hits pretty good. Okay. Actually hit pretty good, actually. Okay, actually, let's test a little bit more, but I think we should have changed his blessing after the fact. So let's change it back to what it was, or take it off, and then we'll come back in and test it again. But that actually hit pretty hard, almost one shot through the stone skin. We'll see how it works in with no blessing, with no cracking roots here. Let's see this. Yes, 2 shots. Okay, let's try again. This time, I'm going to take off the cracking roots and then we'll try again. Obviously, we have to fight some RNG here with the affinity. Let's change it back to whatever. Let's take Phantom Touch here. Let's get back in here. No weak hit. Do you see that? Look at that difference there. The A3 chunked him down basically to 10% of the stone skin, and without cracking roots, you know, maybe only 20%, 25%. Yeah, let's see what the A2 can do this time. We might have something here. Cracking roots actually might actually be viable, actually. Actually. That is interesting. That is very interesting. Very interesting. I don't know. You guys let me know, man. That looks pretty okay. That looks kind of okay. All right, let's move on. All right, back to the video.
Gear
presets. That's a big one.
When you use the fitting room, you'll now be able to save your favorite combinations of artifacts and accessories for quick and easy use. Just fill out the slots with the artifacts.
All right, so I'll show you guys how they implemented this. So first, you go to the filter. You go to preset manager. You have the option to do champion presets or global presets. So for example, the gear set that's on my Kagi right now, I could do save, and I basically save our whole gear set to whichever one I want. I could save it as Relentless SS Mikage. There's going to be a cap on characters, so make sure you guys are aware of that. So I'm going to save it as a global preset. This basically means that I can use this gear set from Mikage on any champion. So for example, if I go to Rhodos and I go to presets here, and then I can actually look for Mikage's preset and I can try it on. So it's actually really good. Obviously, you're going to get dinged for the full amount on the silver costs here. You have to manage the accessories separately, so you're going to need to swap the gear first and then do the accessories, for example. But this is pretty huge quality of life. I tested it out quite a bit while I was playing on the test server today, and it's very helpful. Very helpful, actually. So big thumbs up from me. The other big thing that was mentioned was the artifact accessories filter. So when they mentioned this, we were thinking that they would basically give us a way to filter out the supersonic, the merciless, refresh, all those different sets, reaction, and all that stuff. But instead, what they did was basically they lumped it all together into a hide set filter. So you can see here, there's no sets. These are all generic pieces here. But when you click this, it shows all the sets. So when you click the hide set filter, it goes away, it goes back to the generic pieces, and then when you check it, it shows all the set accessories. Now, this is obviously still better than what we currently have, but it's only very marginally better because there's so many sets that it's still incredibly hard to find. Of course, when you're omitting them, you can easily look for your generic pieces, which is not really what we want to increase our accessibility for. We want to increase the accessibility and searchability of our different set accessories. So this is a bit of a miss from me, but it's a small little bit. Maybe they'll add it in the future, I don't know, but so far this feels like a miss for me. All right, so back at the
Now we
video
know
here.
that changing gear can leave you short on silver, but we've got a little something to help with that. We're introducing the free.
So they're actually introducing 2 new rewards that you can get from Centranos. From what I've heard, there's 3 different levels that has these rewards in them. They're going to be in addition to the existing rewards in that level, so it's not going to replace that reward. That's at least from what I heard. I think this is a little bit stingy. 1 hour, 3 hour definitely feels stingy. I was thinking it's going to be 1 day, for example. However, I believe these are going to last 99 days in your inbox. So if you time it properly, you can probably take full advantage of this. And to be honest, 1 hour of gear removal is definitely worth more than whatever crappy silver rewards they're offering in Centranos levels, like 300k or something. So 1 hour of free gear removal is easily worth a couple million silver. So it's good. This is a positive change, and definitely something that is needed for sure. So moving on. Okay, so the big one here is
The next major
dungeon
part of this update will
rebalances.
bring something we've been promising for a while. It's time for balance changes to Raid's toughest dungeons, the Iron Twins Fortress, the Sand Devil's Necropolis, and the Phantom Shogun's Grove. We've turned down the dials on the Iron Twins, nerfing this killing machine's total HP, defense, resistance, and most importantly, accuracy.
Okay, so they don't provide us with exactly what they did in terms of the reductions in this, although of course in due time these new stats will be data mined, and then we'll be able to better optimize our teams. But all of these are good to reduce. Basically, it's easier to apply debuffs, it's easier to resist debuffs, you can build different teams, you can have different strategies, and the boss will be easier to kill. So these are all good.
It'll be a lot easier to resist those nasty Iron Brand debuffs and land your own. Speaking of Iron Brand, we're reducing the amount of stacks applied by the fires of insanity and ruinous.
That's a good thing. Basically, the damage ramp up on the Iron Twins won't be as crazy, so
SWAT skills.
you'll
We're
be
also
able to
reducing
survive
how
a little bit
often the
longer.
Iron Twins activate the retaliatory launch skill. Instead of 4 times, it'll only happen when the Iron Twins' HP drops below 80%, 60%, and 40% of their max.
So if you guys didn't know, he, I believe, was attacking 4 times, and he attacks when his HP drops below these thresholds. He also cleanses all the debuffs on himself, and he basically just blows up your whole team if you're not ready for this. Does this really affect current teams against him? We'll test it out right now. I'll show you guys a popular team, and one of the teams that I use against him, one of the teams that I use against him, this Emic team. This Emic is very popular, very standard. You run 1 max HP damage dealer, Geomancer. Geomancer is the GOAT, basically the MVP for damage dealing still in the Iron Twins, unfortunately. However, with the reduced HP and defense, it might make other damage dealers viable against him. But in the meantime, let's check out these existing teams and see if it's still broken, if it breaks or anything against him. So this team generally runs between 40 and 60 seconds, depending how much the HP burn falls off. But since he is doing less retaliatory attacks, probably less cleanses, might be more consistent. So maybe the runs will be sped up here. Overall, you only do 6 of these fights, 12 of these fights a day, so it's not like a huge deal if fights are sped up or slowed down, to be honest. So, but hopefully the reduction in HP and defense gives other teams a little bit of an opportunity to do things. Sorry, I realized one of my gloves was changed on my Geomancer, so the speeds were off. So we'll try it again. I assure you that nothing has changed in the Iron Twins. So you guys can rest assured that your teams will still continue working. Let's see this team work here. If you guys are interested in this team, definitely check out, I have a build video on this team. Yeah, it's the EMIC 271 team brought to you by Bronco, another content creator here. Double Pain Keepers, they don't need to be fully maxed out. They're going to be unkillable. Geomaster for the damage. Gold Heart for damage here. So let's see if this team breaks or speeds up or whatever against the Iron Twins after the rebalances. Keep in mind we are on the test server, so these are the changes in effect here. Are a little bit unlucky there that the HP burn did get resisted, so a little bit unlucky. Oh, we got another one back. There we go. All right, let's see this in action here. So 3 retaliatory strikes at 80, 60, and 40 HP for the Golem, or the Twins, or whatever. We are landing our... Oh, what the heck happened? All right, sorry about that, guys. Looks like I did swap out a glove on the Geomancer, and then the team wiped. I think that's kind of funny. It was a blooper, so I'm just going to leave that in the video. But we'll test it out here. It should work perfectly fine here. Let's see if there's any changes or if it speeds up or anything like that. Alright, so whenever the AoE happens, he takes damage from the Geomancer's HP burn. So everything's working, looks okay. Okay. Yeah. Oh my god, something happened. Okay, let's try again. I had to change out one piece of gear on my EMIC. I realized that I changed his build on the live server, so obviously it carries over onto the test server. So let's try again. We'll leave those bloopers in for the video just for some funs, but this should work perfectly now. Okay, let's see this. This team truly sings when it works. Looks like we are applying some of the debuffs. And man, it failed again. What is happening here? Alright, let's try this again. I did have to fix the masteries on EMIC because, again, I do use him in live server, and I did switch up his build a little bit here, so lots of little things going wrong, but hopefully this is the one that works. And if it works, it will certainly work all the time because the build is basically the same build I've been running forever. I had to tweak some parts of it, but I also changed some parts of it on live, so that's probably why it did not work in the initial couple runs here, but it looks like it's going okay right now. But let's see. Okay, perfect. Looks like it's going fine now. Alright, so we had to change a glove on Geomancer. We had to change some gear sets on EMIC because he was running a refresh accessory. He was running reflex gear. He was running merciless gear. And then lastly, we had to change some masteries on EMIC so that he didn't get any turn meter boost. Finally, we got it, and it works exactly as it should. So not much of a speed difference here because obviously the damage is based on the retaliatory launches, so maybe there is a little bit of a damage loss because he doesn't attack. He attacks less, inflicting the mega critical damage against this team with the Geomancer. So maybe it actually slows it down because of the interaction with Geomancer's HP burn, right? So if your team doesn't take damage, then Geomancer can't reflect the damage back. But anyways, this team will still work on the Iron Twins. Alright, so Iron Twins done.
HP.
Still working.
Offensive capabilities reduced. Zzz. Time for Anime to face the Nerf bat. Get it? Bat? Anyway, he's also getting a significant decrease to all of his stats.
Alright, that's a good thing. All his stats going down.
And we're increasing his slumber counter as well. Sand Devils still need the beauty.
Slumber counter goes. Slumber counter increases, so you have more turns to apply your debuffs and do damage to him before he wakes up. May or may not wreck. Some teams might rely on him waking up at a certain point, but I think that's pretty niche. So definitely something to look out for.
Slumber counter will increase to 16, and at higher stages, it's now 8. So you've got plenty of hits to get your debuffs in. That's not all though. May will now.
All right, so let's test out the Sand Devil here. I'm going to take 2 popular builds and we'll run them here. So first I'm going to run Ninja Aniri. So although Ninja is negative affinity against Sand Devil 25 force, he still pumps pretty good damage against him, and he's probably one of the fastest duels available with Godseeker here. So he's one of the most popular ones. Obviously for 24 he's really good. We'll just run this run and see how it goes. I don't think it's going to fail. I think it's going to be faster because obviously the boss is low HP. Look at that big chunk here. Without the weak hits happening, the chunk was pretty big. Don't think damage was reduced. There was no mention of attack being reduced, so the boss still deals quite a bit of damage. Getting kind of tight here. I don't really run this team, so I did just patch together an Aniri to work here. I don't really run this team at all. It looks like it should be working okay. Yeah, everything looks like it's running pretty good. As long as Ninja doesn't weak hit too much, he's going to chunk this boss off big time. So it's going to be roughly about 90-second run or a 2-minute run. 90 seconds to 2 minutes with the Ninja Aniri here. But yeah, you see the damage on the Ninja definitely popping off when there's no weak hits. So yeah, it's a great update. The HP reduction and the defense reduction, I think, is definitely works out. All right, coming up to 90 seconds here. Yeah, a lot of weak hits on that last one. If we had like a 5 or 6 star Brimstone on the Ninja, it'd definitely go a lot faster too. But works pretty good. All right, good to see you. Minute 50, we're good to see here. Yeah, if you guys are interested in that quick build here, so we got my Ninja, 273 speed. Like these speeds, there's some pretty good range on the Sand Devil. You can make him much slower, but yeah, we got him at 273 speed, and then we got the Godseeker Aniri here with 238 speed. And of course, in regen, no Immortal. Immortal would have made it a little bit more safer. It does run War Master here, and I guess Miracle Heal. But yeah, so it looks like it's running pretty good, and it's running pretty quick. Moving on. All right.
Now only destroy 5% of your champion's max HP.
Max HP reduction, yeah.
And we're reducing Rest for the Wicked's damage reduction by 15%
damage reduction,
for each
so
debuff
the boss takes
instead
more
of 10%.
damage. Yep.
Essentially, you'll survive longer and hit harder.
So this means that the team where Riho applies all those debuffs, allowing the Sand Devil to take more damage, isn't necessary anymore, because some teams rely on Riho applying those debuffs to deal the cap damage. So now there might be more teams viable, not just Riho based teams.
Win. Then there's Akumori, the Phantom
So last
Shogun.
but not least,
This
the
poor
Shogun's
spectral
Grove here.
warlord is getting his stats nerfed the hardest. Ouch.
Actually, I forgot one thing. We will showcase one of the most popular builds for the Sand Devil, and that's going to be the double nut build with Riho, as we just mentioned, Riho. So it's going to be this one, Sifi with double nut. We're going to make sure that this works fine here on the test server, so you guys don't have to worry about it. Sleep still happens, debuffs still happen. One debuff got resisted, but the damage still popping off here. Yeah, it definitely looks easier to cap. It definitely looks easier to cap. 13 seconds, yeah. Definitely looks easier to cap. Definitely looks easier to kill. So now my 10-turn Sand Devil 25 team turns into a 9-turn Sand Devil 29 team. 25 team, which is great. Like, it is great. So this team definitely improved. The Riho guy had 1 debuff resisted, and I was instantly able to cap right away, and I was able to kill the boss in 9 turns instead of my usual 10 turns. So very good. Great update. Moving on, we were going to deal with the Shogun's Grove here. Sorry, let's go over what that guy was talking about. So he's dropping some stats.
The shadow skill has been changed, so now you can remove.
Actually, what did he say? He dropped some stats.
The hardest.
He dropped the speed on 1 to 19. So this is important. So basically from 20 to 25, the speed doesn't change. So this doesn't break any of the advanced speed tune teams, but it would make him a little bit more manageable if you're progressing through. So that's really good to see.
His Purge the Shadow skill has been changed, so now you can remove up to 10 stacks of the Shade counter for every 3 hits, depending on a champion's awakening level. Akumori's Shroud of the Shogun passive.
Okay, so fewer Shade stacks. That's good. That's good. That gives you basically more flexibility in how much blessings you need to bring against him. And also, it's less punishing if you weak hit against
champions land on him. To make matters worse for Akumori, the number of Shade stacks that he needs for each immunity or buff has been increased by 10. Exercise your power and
so this is a pretty significant nerf to him, making him a lot easier. It basically makes more teams viable. It's less reliance on having high blessings. It's also less reliant on having proper affinities. So this makes, for example, like nut builds for 25 more viable, because 25 is magic affinity. So magic affinity always pushed nut teams back. But now it might actually work out.
On to the afterlife. There is one small catch with these.
All right, let's test out the Shoguns here. I do run this team for Shogun. Yeah, well, let's see how it goes. This is usually 45, 50 second team here. It's basically Riho, Cleanser, and 3 damage dealers. Whoa, big chunks happening here. Ooh, really big chunks. Okay. Can we finish this real quick here? Let's see. Holy cow, 27 seconds. Holy cow, that literally cut the... I was saying like 45 to 50 seconds is about what I get on the live server. Wow, this team is looking nice, guys. This team's looking nice. I'm really digging this update. Obviously, the reduction in health really impacts this boss. Yeah, massive change for me. Show you guys the team here real quick. Ninja, same Ninja that I was running in that showcase with the Neri 273 with damage, bunch of refresh stuff. Wither could be basically any cleanser. 161 speed. She has the highest crit damage, so she's targeted. Riho, second cleanser here. She also applies all the debuffs and stuff. Definitely need the accuracy. Like I said, I don't know the accuracy on the bosses yet after the update, so we'll probably have to update the accuracies here. And then we have the Cold Hearts for damage. I have her Merciless with the refresh accessory, as well the Reflex with refresh accessory Cold Heart. But not a showcase for those builds, but just want to give you guys a quick look if you guys are interested. And then, you know what? I think that's going to be it for the update. So far, we tested most of the things that they're going to bring into the game in the next couple days here, so it's pretty exciting. The balances to the dungeons look very interesting. It doesn't really break anything that I was using. But you know, in some exception cases, there might be something that actually breaks, but overall, just reducing the HP on some of the bosses is seemingly a good update. The presets are great. The accessory filter is not very good. The accessory filter is not very good, so that's actually kind of annoying, because you can see here I have to select this now. That's one extra click to show all accessories now, so a little bit annoying. Missed the mark there. Otherwise, the also another thing is that the cracking roots. The cracking roots actually has potential. Cracking roots, a 6-star, actually has potential here. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the crazy guys have in store for this. But yeah, this looks pretty cool. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate your time and checking out the video. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about all of this. Are you guys excited for the update? Are you guys following through on some of these patch notes? Let me know in the comments below if you guys see anything cool or interesting, if you guys want to check out or test as well. I'll be happy to check it out if I have some time. And yeah, like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate your time, and I will see you guys in the next video.